What would drive Mitt Romney to praise Snooki? Well, Romney is locked in a likability war right now with President Obama. Polls show this is perhaps Romney's greatest weakness, so now he is launching the all-out charm offensive. It is your voice, your vote, and ABC's David Curley has more now from the White House. David, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Dan. By all measures, this is still really a close race. We've got a couple of weeks till the debates, 50-plus days to the election, but there is one question that Mitt Romney is having a big, hard time winning. Who do you like?
So get ready for another charm offensive. Yesterday, Romney went to his grandson's soccer game. This week, he and wife Ann appear on Live with Kelly and Michael, chatting about everything from toothpaste tubes to the Jersey Shore.
Honey Boo Boo or Snooki?
I'm kind of a Snooki fan.
By the way, Ann squeezes the toothpaste from the top, Mitt from the bottom. Why all the warm and fuzzy? Because while the president has a slight lead among expected voters to win, he is running away in the likability numbers. This week, the president will laugh it up on the Letterman show, but does he need to? When we ask which candidate is more personable, likable, it's Obama, 61 to 27%. Who would you want to have dinner with? Obama, 52 to 33%. Who would make a more loyal friend? Obama, 50 to 36%. But the real worry for Romney is the question about the economy, which the Obama campaign set up in a new ad.
He keeps saying it.
This president cannot tell us that you're better off today than when he took office.
And here's where we are today. 30 months of private sector job growth.
Call it the Clinton bounce. The argument seems to be working.
They want to go back to the same old policies that got us in trouble in the first place.
Since May, when we ask, who do you trust to handle the economy, Romney was ahead until after the Democratic convention. Now it's the president, up by 2 points.
Both candidates are taking the day off from the campaign trail today. They are back on the trail tomorrow. Romney makes one appearance tonight that'll be on television. That Live with Kelly and Michael set for Tuesday if you want to see it on your ABC station. Bianna?
We will be watching, David. All right, thank you. And let's bring ABC News senior White House correspondent Jake Tapper from Washington, who's filling in for George Stephanopoulos as host of ABC's This Week. Great to see you, Jake.
Good morning, Bianna. How are you?
Good. So aside from the likability issue for Mitt Romney, the economy is still in the doldrums, yet new poll data suggests that Romney's not capitalizing from that at all. How big of a problem is this for him, given that this was his major selling point?
It's the ball game, Bianna. If Mitt Romney cannot convince voters that he would be better for the economy than President Obama, under whom there is more than 8.1% unemployment, then Mitt Romney will not be able to win. He needs to get that number up significantly. It is his, as the French say, raison d'etre, his reason for being. If he cannot change that number, he might as well go back home.
And Jake, there's been a lot of focus on what some have called Mitt Romney's ill-timed response to the anti-American protests we saw in Egypt last week. But hasn't that obscured one important detail, and that is President Obama has a real foreign policy problem on his hands right now?
There's no question about it, Bianna, that this is a very serious issue right now and a very big problem for President Obama. Most Americans, according to polls, prefer his handling of foreign policy to Mitt Romney's, but this whole crisis over the Muslim world, throughout the Muslim world, calls into question his philosophy, calls into question his approach to the Muslim world, and it really does not project the kind of strength that until now he's been able to convince the American people of. So this is a much bigger problem for President Obama long-term than that initial response from Mitt Romney.
And you'll have much more on this topic later on this week. Jake, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. And hi to the other Jake.
Well, and be sure to join Jake Tapper later on ABC's This Week when he speaks with the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Susan Rice, about the deadly attacks and anti-American protests sweeping across the Middle East. Plus, the Powerhouse Roundtable debates the fallout from the Middle East violence and all the week's politics.